Ever wonder why some people lose their minds over 22 strangers chasing a ball while others would rather watch paint dry? The divide isn't just about sports, it's about how our brains are wired to find meaning in chaos. Picture yourself at a Super Bowl party, surrounded by screaming fans, and you're sitting there wondering if anyone actually cares about the game or just the commercials. You're not broken, and they're not crazy, you're just experiencing the great football paradox. The question isn't whether football is objectively entertaining, but why millions see poetry in motion while you see overpriced helmets colliding. Here's the thing about football fanatics. They're not just watching a game, they're participating in a tribal ritual that's been engineered over more than a century. Every touchdown, every interception, every fourth down conversion triggers the same neural pathways that once fired when our ancestors successfully hunted down dinner. For them, football isn't entertainment, it's a safe outlet for primal instincts wrapped in advertising and stadium nachos. But what about the people who just don't get it? The ones who'd rather spend 3 hours doing literally anything else? Their brains aren't searching for that tribal connection in synchronized athletic chaos. They find their dopamine hits elsewhere, maybe in the intricate plot twists of a thriller novel, the creative flow of making art, or the intellectual stimulation of a heated debate about philosophy. The football obsession runs on manufactured scarcity and carefully orchestrated drama. Games happen once a week during the season, creating anticipation that builds like a pressure cooker. Every play is dissected by analysts who treat coaching decisions like military strategy, transforming simple athletic contests into Shakespearean dramas complete with heroes, villains, and redemption arcs. For the unconverted, this whole apparatus feels like elaborate theater for something fundamentally repetitive. They see patterns, run the ball, throw the ball, kick the ball, and wonder why everyone's acting like each variation is revolutionary. The emotional investment seems disproportionate to the actual stakes, especially when you remember these are professional entertainers being paid millions to play a children's game. The social pressure to care about football is real and relentless. In offices across America, Monday morning conversations revolve around weekend games, creating invisible hierarchies between those who can participate and those who awkwardly nod along. If you don't follow football, you're suddenly the odd one out, missing cultural references and bonding opportunities that grease the wheels of professional and social life. But here's where it gets interesting. The people who don't care about football often have equally passionate obsessions that football fans find baffling. Try explaining why you spent 6 hours rearranging your book collection by color to someone who just watched 6 hours of pregame coverage. Both activities involve intense focus on something others might consider pointless. It's just that one has billion-dollar television contracts behind it. The complexity argument is football's secret weapon. Fans will tell you about zone defenses, play-action passes, and offensive line schemes with the enthusiasm of scholars discussing ancient texts. They've learned an entire language, a system of symbols and meanings that transforms random athletic movements into a coherent narrative. For them, football is chess, played at high speed with concussion protocols. To the disinterested observer, though, all that complexity just looks like overcomplicated rules for a simple concept. Why do we need 17 different ways to describe guys running into each other? The beauty that fans see in a perfectly executed screen pass looks like controlled chaos to everyone else. Impressive, maybe, but not worth the emotional energy or the time investment. Then there's the violence factor, which creates its own divide. Some people are drawn to the raw physicality, the bone-crunching tackles, the gladiatorial spectacle of controlled aggression. Others find it uncomfortable or even disturbing, wondering why we're celebrating activities that regularly send people to the hospital. Both reactions are valid, just processing the same stimuli through completely different moral and aesthetic frameworks. The gambling culture surrounding football has added another dimension to the obsession. Millions of people who might not naturally care about whether Green Bay beats Minnesota suddenly have $40 riding on the point spread. Fantasy football transformed casual viewers into stakeholders, creating financial incentives to track statistics and watch games they'd otherwise ignore. When money's involved, entertainment becomes investment. But strip away the gambling, the social pressure, and the cultural momentum, and you're left with a core question. Is football inherently interesting? Or is it interesting because we've collectively agreed it should be? The people who don't care have essentially called the bluff, refusing to participate in the mass delusion that this particular form of entertainment deserves special status above all others. Critics of football point to the time commitment as absurd. 3 to 4 hours for a single game where the actual playing time is maybe 11 minutes? They'd rather consume 3 movies, read half a book, or actually play a sport themselves. The efficiency argument resonates with people who view time as their most precious resource and don't see adequate return on investment. Yet football persists and grows because it offers something rare in modern life: genuine unpredictability within a structured format. Every Sunday is a fresh narrative, unrehearsed and unscripted, where underdogs can triumph and dynasties can crumble. For fans, that authentic uncertainty is addictive. For non-fans, it's just randomness dressed up as meaning, like reading tea leaves but with better production values. The identity factor can't be ignored either. For many fans, football loyalty is inherited, tied to family tradition, geography, and community belonging. You don't choose your team based on rational analysis. You're born into it, and your fandom becomes part of who you are. Non-fans look at this and see arbitrary tribalism. Fans look at this and see heritage worth defending. As the sport evolves, with rule changes, safety protocols, and shifting cultural attitudes, the divide between devotees and the disinterested remains as wide as ever. New technologies make the game more accessible, but also more complex, potentially alienating casual viewers while deepening the experience for hardcore fans. The gap isn't closing, it's just changing shape. What's fascinating is that both groups are completely right from their own perspectives. Football is simultaneously the most compelling drama on television and a ridiculous waste of time, depending on whether your brain is wired to find meaning in its particular brand of controlled chaos. The real question isn't why some people don't care about football, it's why we're all so different in what captures our imagination. In the end, maybe the football divide teaches us something bigger about human nature and the arbitrary nature of what we value. One person's passion is another person's puzzle, and that's perfectly fine. Just don't expect everyone to understand why you're crying over a playoff loss or why you're not.